Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Thompson Racing Tips. I'm going through day one of the Cheltenham Festival and the three main races from the first day, which is the Supreme, Arkle and Champion Hurdle. So I'll be giving you my free selection for those races as it's nearly only 3 weeks away until it starts. So it's getting very close now, and I'll give you my three main tips for those three races. So starting with Supreme, looking at Appreciated is my first selection. He is favourite. It's around 7-4 right now, but I can't see a lot else in the race. He's beaten Ballyadam comfortably twice now at Leopardstown. There's no reason why that form should be reversed. So I cannot understand why people will be backing Ballyadam at 8 or 9-1 because you're only backing for the each way value. Really, he's not going to be Appreciated. However, Metier, the English horse who won the Tolworth at Sandown, he's an interesting contender as he doesn't time with Appreciated, so you don't know how they compare. So he might well be good enough to win. However, I think Appreciates it. Is one of those horses who'll always just find enough. He's quite similar to Envoy Allen, and they never win by far. They will always just do enough. When they ask the question, they'll always pick up and win by a couple of lengths. So I do think he is a good favourite for the Supreme. I can't see a lot else in the race in what looks quite a weak race compared to the last couple of years of the race. So I do think Appreciated is a good favourite. And moving on to the Arkle is a fascinating race. You have Shishkin, Energamine, and you have All Mankind's third favourite. I'm a big fan of Shishkin because I think he's very similar to Altior, and he looks a strong stayer over 2 miles, and he'll always pick up off the bridle. I think Energamine has more to prove as wasn't raced really over hurdles, but he hasn't had the credentials of winning a Supreme like Shishkin does. And he does jump slightly to his right, Energamine, so he might need to prove that Cheltenham suits him. I think he's getting a bit of a hype in Ireland. He's got to prove it first for me because the Irish division looks very weak. So I do think Shishkin looks a very good horse. He jumps perfectly. He stays. He's quick, and I can't see why you wouldn't be backing him. All Mankind didn't impress me at Warwick the last day. He jumped not that great. He hit a lot of fences, and he won't be able to afford to do that at Cheltenham. But an outside at 25-1 is Captain Guinness. He interests me a little bit each way. I think he could run into third. He was in the process of running a really good race last time behind Energamine before he fell. I do think he could have served up to Energamine, and Energamine would have struggled, or he would have won probably, but he would have had to work for it a lot more than he did. I do think Captain Guinness is a good each way bet 25-1. But it's Shishkin for me. I think he's a solid horse, and he's probably one of the bankers of the festival. Moving on to the Champion Hurdle. Now, Goshen has really thrown a spear into that division after his 22-length win yesterday, beating Song for Someone. Everton and Honeysuckle are both around 5-2, and they will be hard to beat, receiving £7 from all the geldings. So I think those two are going to be in the full class and it'd be hard to back against them. I'm definitely with Epperton. I think she won it last year very well. She's improving. She wasn't right at Christmas, and that's why she got beat. I think you can forgive her that. And when you look at Honeysuckle's form in all of her races, she's had a clear passage every time she's run. Rachel Blackmore's always given her a great ride. So she has to prove in a bigger field in Champion Hurdle that she will be able to handle more horses around her. She won't be able to afford a mistake like she can do over her hurdles. She jumps a bit big sometimes. Although she does stay 2.5 very well, I think she might struggle in a bigger field in Champion Hurdle. So I think Epperton is a better selection as she's proven, and Nick Jensen is one of the best at getting them right for Cheltenham. So I do think Epperton is the one to stick with right now. But I do think Honeysuckle will go a strong favourite in the day just purely because the Irish support is so big for her, and they do think she's very good. She's unbeaten, which is fair enough, but I do think the Irish can influence the betting market. So I think Epperton, you might get a bigger price in the day. Goshen, I'm still unsure about him. He's still not trustworthy, I'd say, even though he bolted up at Wincanton yesterday. He beat someone receiving £6 though by 22 lengths. It's good to see him back to form, and he would have to have a great chance in the Champion Hurdle if he could maintain that sort of form. He raced like a proper racehorse last time. He settled and he jumped very well. He looked very impressive. He's now 5-1, I think, Champion Hurdle. So it's probably a fair each way price, but I can't see him giving £7 for 2 mares. So I do think he's going to struggle to do that, but he could run a big race in front. I just think he'll get caught up the hill. So I think Epatton is the strongest winner of that race. But looking at the other races, you have the National Hunt on day one, the Ultimate, and Mares Hurdle. So all those 3 races are very good and competitive as well. Galvin is the favourite in the National Hunt, along with Concertista in the Mares Hurdle, and the Ultimate is a wide open race at the minute as it's a handicap and people don't really know where it's going. I've already put my selections to my members for the Ultimate, as I have a big favourite in that. So please, if you want to get involved with my tips for all the race at Cheltenham, make sure to head over to my website to sign up and become a member. It's only £20 a month, so it's great value. You get tips for all the race at Cheltenham and every day apart from that. So I usually have around 3 tips a day, so it's great value. But going back to day one at Cheltenham Festival, my 3 for the big races would be Appreciate It, Shishkin and Epatton. Even though they're the 3 favourites, I can't see a lot else getting into it. It looks a bit of a favourites festival this year. There's a lot of good horses that are running, so it's hard to go against them really and find each way value because they all look so solid at the minute. But those are the 3, so make a nice treble if you want to do that. So make sure to tune in next time to our next episode to find out what my next tips are for the day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival.